What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Homebound to Eretz Yisrael. It's a big week. We got Pesach coming up, just a few days. I was actually thinking not to make a video this week because obviously things are very busy by me. I have Pesach, and I figured things are busy by you guys. And do people really have time to watch a long podcast? But then I realized most people are actually probably watching these podcasts while cooking and cleaning. And that's probably what everyone's doing right now, cooking and cleaning, preparing for Pesach. So I figured, hey, might as well make an episode, a nice extra long episode, a fancy Erev Pesach special. Because, you know, there's some good music out there. There's other podcasters, a lot of good things to watch and listen to these days. Of course, Shiurim, obviously that's what you should be listening to. You should be listening to a lot of Torah Shiurim. But of course, at the end of the day, everyone is hoping to be able to listen to or watch a Homebound To Eretz Yisrael podcast because it's just the best on the market. Obviously, we're the best there is. And we are providing the highest level of entertainment and Torah, all delivered on one fancy, beautiful, big package, dish, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so with all that being said, I actually didn't prepare too much for today. I actually didn't, again, like I said, I didn't really plan on making a video. So today we're going to do something interesting. We're going to just cover a bunch of random things, a bunch of random topics, just things that people send me, things I've been coming across. We're just going to show some stuff. We're going to talk about it, see if we can debunk some myths, teach some Torah, and help inspire and motivate you guys to come down to Eretz Yisrael and help build the base of Mikdash. So with that intro out of the way, let's hop right into it. First off, we have a video that has been going around. I'm sure many of you guys have maybe seen it, maybe not, I don't know. I saw this video already, I don't know, probably a week plus ago. I didn't really plan on commenting on it. But then I actually just, like, somebody pointed out that this lady, she's got an Instagram called Razy Cooking. And I actually just looked her Instagram up, and she's got, like, I don't know, 60,000 plus followers. So there's a lot of people watching her and listening to her. And fantastic, good for her. I'm sure she's a great lady. And again, we're not here to bash anyone. We're not here to insult anyone. I'm not here to say that anyone is bad or this and that. But I am going to tell you when someone's wrong. She did put out this video talking about Eretz Yisrael, and she said some stuff which didn't make so much sense to me. And a couple of people sent me this video. So we're just going to comment on this. We're going to just talk a little bit about the things that she said. And I'll try to explain why she's wrong and why the mindset is wrong. And again, this is just about this video. This is not about her, not insulting her. I'm just going to talk about this video because if somebody puts out a video for hundreds of thousands of people potentially to see, and they say something that is quite misleading, and it's specifically about Eretz Yisrael, then that's what we're here for here at Homebound To Eretz Yisrael. We're going to call it out. So here, let's watch this video.
So I got this question that I want to share. She writes, "Hi Razy, I have a question that I'm trying to phrase politely because I really just want to understand. Firstly, your home is so beautiful. I love the character, the wallpaper, the blue kitchen is a dream. Having said that, here in Eretz Yisrael, we're in the middle of a war. And it feels like Moshiach is coming any second. Do you feel like it's a waste that you're building such a beautiful home in America since Moshiach is coming? Or is that not on your radar? I'm really not judging, just curious. I learned so much from you and love your content, even though our current realities couldn't be more different." So here's my response. When she wrote, "Is that not on your radar?" that was a little ouch to read. And I did feel like it carried some judgment, but I also understand that she's under a lot of stress, and I can see where the question may be coming from. I actually yearn for Moshiach every single day, since way before this war even started. This is actually something that I deeply care about. But I do want to say this, there are many shittas. Shittas means opinions and interpretations about what will happen when Moshiach comes. Some say that all Jews will move to Israel. Others say that the whole world will become like Eretz Yisrael, and Eretz Yisrael, Israel, will become like Yerushalayim. Others say that we may continue living around the world and we'll come to Eretz Yisrael for the Shulish Regulim, because even in the times of the Bais HaMikdash, not all Jews lived in Eretz Yisrael. Many lived in Bovel and in many other places. So I don't think that buying this house is a conflict of interest at all.
Razy here seems to be saying there are different shittas. Some shittas say you need to come to Eretz Yisrael. I mean, this is her implication, obviously. Some shittas say you need to live in Eretz Yisrael. And that, you know, when Moshiach comes, we'll all need to come to Eretz Yisrael. And she's saying there's some shittas that say, no, the whole world will become Eretz Yisrael. So I watched the video, I said, wow, that's pretty wild. The whole world is going to become Eretz Yisrael. I know I've heard about this, but I never actually looked up is there a source for this? I wasn't sure that there was even a source for it. So I looked it up, and there's a source for it. So let's look at this source. So we got here, we're looking at a Yalkut Shmoni. It's a Medrash. Reb Levi. Asida Yerushalayim Lias Eretz Yisrael. In the future, Yerushalayim will be Eretz Yisrael, like the whole Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael ki ha'olam, and Eretz Yisrael will be like the whole world. That's basically what it says here. This is the medrash, okay? Now, whatever the context of this medrash in this situation didn't seem to matter so much. Okay, this is something that is quoted in the medrash. Now, I think it's important to understand how medrash works, okay? Like this. Yeah, the Rambam actually wrote that he planned to write a sefer explaining which midrashim should be taken seriously and which midrashim are just, agadic Gemara, agadic thoughts and are just, they're metaphors. They're not to be taken literally. Now, this is not like kfira, where people are going to start yelling at me, not every midrash, like this is Torah Shabbat Peh. The Gemara is to be taken literally. Midrashim. It's very clear if anyone's ever learned more than 1 or 2 pages of any medrash. Midrashim are very, very vague. They're very, very metaphorical. Some midrashim are to be taken literally. Some midrashim are a little, I guess, in the gray area. We're not sure. Is it literal? Is it not literal? Some midrashim, we don't even know what it means. And some midrashim are clearly, for sure, metaphorical. For sure, metaphorical. They simply cannot be true because many times they contradict. If you take that medrash literally, it would contradict the Torah itself. So obviously, there are many midrashim that cannot they simply cannot be taken literally because they would be going against the Gemara and the Torah and Tanakh. So in this situation, to say that the entire world will be Eretz Yisrael, this obviously cannot actually be taken literally. Now, maybe there will be some time that after Moshiach comes, Hashem will do something that's some sort of new phenomenon, and we don't really know what's going to happen after Moshiach comes. There's all kinds of magical talks about what happens after Moshiach comes. The Rambam spells out. He says it very clearly. The Rambam says, "Do not think that after Moshiach comes there will be any giant nisim. The world will kind of run basically as normal, except we're just going to have freedom from the nations of the world. We're going to live in peace, be able to learn Torah in peace, serve Hashem in peace, have the Beis Hamikdash in peace." But even if you go according to the more magical way of viewing Mashiach, still, being that the Torah itself is eternal, all right, and will never be changed, and the Torah puts an extreme amount of emphasis, obviously, of Jews needing to get to Eretz Yisrael, Jews needing to live in Eretz Yisrael, keeping the mitzvahs in Eretz Yisrael. There are so many things about Eretz Yisrael. There's a mitzvah of Yishuv Eretz Yisrael. In order to say that the entire world will be Eretz Yisrael, it's kind of quite contradictory to like the entire Torah and the Torah Shabbat Peh and everything. So now, what it means exactly, we don't know. Now, I'm not saying it's, God can do anything. I have no idea what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen after Mashiach comes. We have no idea how Hashem might make the Metzias of the world, meaning it's some sort of, it's an interesting idea. I don't know what it means. But what I want to say is to say that there are different shitas. Shitas is like how long does a lulav need to be in order to be halachically valid? How to tie the knots of your tzitzis, how exactly to separate trumas and maasros. There could be different shitas in halacha, right? You have 2, 3, or 4 rabbis who disagree as to a minor detail. I want to make it very clear: there is no shita as to if you need to live in Eretz Yisrael. This is not a shita. This is very misleading. She says it as some shitas say you have to live in Eretz Yisrael. Some shitas say just stay where you are, and Eretz Yisrael will come to you. It's not a shita. It's not a view. This is a medrash. It's clearly an agadic medrash. It's clearly a medrash that should not be taken literally in any way, shape, or form. In order to take this medrash seriously, you would need to go ahead and ignore literally hundreds and hundreds of psukim in the Torah. So it's obviously not to be taken literally. So again, I want to clarify. When she says this idea of the whole world being Eretz Yisrael, it's a valid idea. It's based in I didn't see any other source. It's based in a medrash, one medrash that I saw. It's not a shita. It's not a shita, okay? So I just want to clarify that. The mitzvah of Yishuv Eretz Yisrael, the mitzvah deraisa, a positive mitzvah in the Torah of Yishuv Eretz Yisrael, means living here. It doesn't mean if you live in New York and you pray enough for Moshiach, and Moshiach will make the whole world Eretz Yisrael, and you will thereby live in Eretz Yisrael. That's simply not true. Okay, now, Now, this other thing that she says with this concept of, you could live outside of Eretz Yisrael and you could just, visit for the Shalosh Regalim. So, again, there are many midrashim and gemaras that make it very clear that the Jews who did not return by the second Beis HaMikdash, she said in this video that, we see in the second Beis HaMikdash many Jews lived in Bavel. The Torah Sheba'al Peh, right, and Torah Sheba'al Peh, make it very, very clear that the Jews who did that were wrong. They were wrong. They were completely and utterly wrong. There are even many sources that say that Ruvain, Gad, Ruvain, Gad, okay, Ruvain and Gad, who lived Evar Yarden on the other side of the Yarden, outside of Eretz Yisrael proper. Okay, there are many sources that say that they did the wrong thing. You even see in the Torah itself, Moshe Rabbeinu was pretty upset at them for doing that. It was not the right thing. So to say that you see in the Torah that they're Jews who lived outside of Eretz Yisrael and they came to visit Eretz Yisrael, the Torah also makes it clear that was the wrong thing to do. It's like saying, you see in the Torah that there were Jews who served idols, so we should serve idols. No. You see in the Torah that Jews served idols and they were punished for it because it was the wrong thing to do. So again, she said some things here. There is a source that says the whole world might become Eretz Yisrael, or Eretz Yisrael. What that means, I don't know. She did say that there were Jews who lived outside of Israel. These things are true, but the context that she said it in was heavily misleading. And I just want to clarify. I think to any sensible person, they would understand that what she said didn't make any sense. But to anybody who watched this video and would say, oh, look, there's a source, I should just stay put in America. It's heavily misleading. And even if for some crazy reason this medrash was to be taken seriously, you're looking at one singular medrash versus Kol HaTorah Kula, the entire Torah. And Gemara and Rishonim. So, okay. And of course, also this all would have to ignore the fact that even if something were to happen in the days of Moshiach and the world would become like Eretz Yisrael, and even if there was some concept that you would be somehow permitted to live outside of Eretz Yisrael and visit on the Chagim, it's so clear in the Torah, Lech Lecha, go to Eretz Yisrael. Hashem makes it so clear to Avram, to Yitzchak, to Yaakov, to Moshe Ben, to Yeshua ben Nun, to everybody. Hashem makes it so clear. The Jewish people need to be in Eretz Yisrael. Hashem makes it so clear that Eretz Yisrael is His chosen land. He chose Eretz Yisrael for the Jewish people. You really have to ignore the entire Torah and the entire will of God in order to comfortably look at a camera with a smile and say there are different shitas, and some shitas say that it's fine to live in Chutz La'aretz. And we'll visit on the Chagim, so we're good.
What's even more interesting is how much we still need to learn about Mashiach. So I think that living with Mashiach doesn't mean stopping life, but it means living fully and getting excited about what's coming. Because if we truly believe that Mashiach is close, then the best thing we can do is learn more.
Okay, so she's saying here, the ikar is to learn about Mashiach. That's what we need to do. So it's not true. It's not true. That's not the ikar. The ikar is actually to do everything we can to bring the Mashiach. The ikar is to do everything we can to fulfill the mitzvahs in the Torah. And living in Eretz Yisrael is actually fulfilling both of those things. By living in Eretz Yisrael, we are helping to bring the Mashiach. We're helping to facilitate the Geula. This is not like rocket science. It's not rocket science. Like the Tanakh is filled to the core with prophets saying that the Jews will return to Eretz Yisrael, and then we will have the Geula. So for thousands of years we couldn't return, so we had to pray. Now we can return, so let's do what God told us to do: return and try to bring the Geula. Try to build a Beis HaMikdash. If we can't build a Beis HaMikdash like we can't right now, the government doesn't let us, so fine, but at least live in Eretz Yisrael. Obviously, that's putting aside that living in Eretz Yisrael obviously is one of the mitzvahs in the Torah. So, again, learning about it is, there's no mitzvah to learn about Mashiach. There's a mitzvah to yearn for it, and yearning for it means doing everything you can to bring it. And obviously living in Eretz Yisrael is the core there.
Prepare ourselves spiritually, emotionally, and build lives and homes full of light, so that when the day comes, we're ready.
No. When it's not the core is not when the day comes we're ready. The core is when the day comes we're there to greet Him. When the day comes, we are there holding the bricks, ready to build the Beis HaMikdash. Now we're ready. Eliyahu Navi comes, he blows the shofar, says all Jews return, and Razi and her friends are going to show up and say, you're going to be so proud of us. We were learning about you. And like us here in Eretz Yisrael, we're going to be looking at these people. We're going to be like, what? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Is that like, we're here. We actually literally just built the base of Mikdash. But you were learning about Moshiach? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, these are, what she said in this video, I think are like things that like people say all the time. It just doesn't make any sense. And again, I just want to clarify. This Razy lady, she didn't mean anything bad. And it's like, I'm using what she said to kind of insult the ideology there, but I'm not insulting her. She's like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of other Jews who really believe this stuff, who believe in the magic and the fairy tales that, you know, somehow has crept into the Jewish world. And so I'm not Razy, again, God bless her. And I hope that she comes to the understanding of, you know, how you actually serve Hashem. And again, she's doing great stuff. Definitely yearn. Definitely pray for Moshiach. Learn about Moshiach. Learn about Eretz Yisrael. I mean, for sure. But also, like, do the mitzvos in the Torah. And, like, do things. You know, take action. Because that's cool. Again, she took action to build a really nice kitchen, which is clear in the video that, you know, she's building a nice kitchen. I actually saw on her Instagram page, she's building a really nice kitchen. So that's great. And I hope she can do tons of mitzvos in that kitchen. But, like, you should also build Eretz Yisrael because it's really good. It feels good. I'm telling you, like building Eretz Yisrael is the best thing. So anyway, okay. God bless Razy. And again, I just wanted to shed some light on this subject. Let's move on to the next thing. Okay. So next we have somebody sent me this. This is cool. This is wild. My Kotel, mykotel.com. Put it on the screen here. It's a getchka. It seems like an avodah zarah. It's a sculpture of the Western Wall, and you apparently pray to it. You put like notes in it. I mean, look at this. You put notes in it. You apparently like, you know, you don't need to daven to Hashem. All you got to do is write your tefillos on a piece of paper, and you put it into the idol here. So this is wild. I don't know. I have no idea what this is. This is wild. My Kotel was created to bring light, inspiration, and a deep sense of connection into your home. I'll tell you what can bring a deep sense of connection to your home. Torah. Learn Torah. And if you like really want to connect to Eretz Yisrael artifacts, then come to Eretz Yisrael and come daven at the Kotel or the Har Bayis or anywhere in Eretz Yisrael, because the entire Eretz Yisrael is extremely holy. So I honestly, like, are they selling this stuff? So anyway, I'll tell you what I really wanted to talk about here. I'll tell you this is the issue. The issue is like this. People think the Kotel is a really holy place. And I'm not saying it's not. It's a holy place. It's a beautiful place. And Jews should definitely come there. The whole Yerushalayim the whole Eretz Yisrael is holy, okay? Yerushalayim is holier than Eretz Yisrael. It's the holiest part of Eretz Yisrael. Then holier than Yerushalayim is the Har Bayis. So by davening by the Kotel, you're actually standing in Yerushalayim near the holiest place in Yerushalayim, which is the Har Bayis. So that's pretty holy. But there is a misconception here. This is a heavy misconception because I've heard like rabbis, like actual big rabbis, quote this, and it's quite concerning. There's this idea that the Kotel is so holy because the Shechina never left the Kotel HaMaravi. Okay, the Shechina never left there. Therefore, the Kotel is the holiest place. So now, you know, when you say the Har Bayis, obviously, like, you know, I'm a Jew who I go to the Har Bayis. I believe in davening on the Har Bayis, the holiest place in the world. But there are many people who are against going on the Har Bayis, and I get it. There's, you know, halachic debate, and I mean, not really a halachic debate. It's more of a it's a debate as to, you know, if we let people go on the Har Bayis, then people might make a mistake and not go to the mikveh properly and go not kehalacha. So whatever, we're not going to get into that here. We've got into that in some other videos, and we'll get into it in some future videos. But I understand that there are people who go to the Har Bayis and some people who don't. So if you want to go daven at the Kotel because you're right outside the Har Bayis and you're looking at one of the walls, one of the outside retaining walls of the Har Bayis, and that's a pretty holy place, so you want to daven there. So that's totally fine. But I want to make something very clear. This concept of the Shechina never left the Kotel HaMaravi, right? It's the holiest place. This is completely wrong. This is factually wrong, okay? There are many. We'll put a source sheet. We'll put a source sheet in the description so you guys can see. But I'll just quote like the main source. This is a medrash. Okay, this is a medrash. I think it's more than one place. Amar Ravacha. Ravacha says, okay, Li'olam ein hashchina zaza mikaisel ma'aravi. Okay, so the Shechina never left the Kotel Maravi, Shel Beis Hamikdash, of the Beis Hamikdash. The Kotel is not the wall of the Beis Hamikdash. I don't know. A lot of people don't really actually don't know this. The Kotel that people daven, the Western Wall that people daven by and make all these claims that it's the holiest place, is actually a retaining wall of the Har Bayis. Okay, now it's not even a retaining wall of the original Har Bayis. It's a retaining wall of the extension of the Har Bayis that King Herod built. So there was a Har Bayis. The Har Bayis is actually the tip of a mountain is the Har Bayis. Okay, now you can't build the Beis Hamikdash and a platform on the tip of a mountain because a mountain is round. So you need to make a platform. So what Shlomo HaMelech did, or maybe it was David HaMelech, I'm not sure, but whatever. What they did is they built this platform at the tip of the mountain to be able to put the Beis Hamikdash on top of it. Okay, then in the days of the second Beis Hamikdash, Herod, who was a very, very evil man, he went ahead and he slaughtered at some point. He slaughtered like thousands of Talmidei Chachamim. Okay, I don't remember the exact number offhand right now, but he slaughtered tons and tons of holy Jews. Herod was a bipolar king. He was crazy. So after he slaughtered all these Jews, he felt bad. So he went to some of the Chachamim and he said, "What can I do to make amends? How do I fix this?" So they said, beautify the Beis Hamikdash. So he went ahead and he built an extension to the Har Bayis. He took this platform that was there that the Beis Hamikdash was on, and he extended it. Okay, so the wall that people are davening at, the Kotel, which again is a holy place. I'm not putting that down. The Kotel is actually a retaining wall, meaning it's holding in a bunch of dirt. That's the base of the Har Bayis that the Beis Hamikdash sits on. But it's not just the original Har Bayis; it's the extension that King Herod built. So the wall you're davening at is a wall built by a very evil king, and that wall is holding in dirt in order to build the platform that the Beis Hamikdash sits on. Okay, so now again, all that is holy, but the Kotel that the Shechina never left is absolutely not this wall. The Kotel that the Shechina never left is the western wall of the Beis Hamikdash itself was actually the wall of the Kodesh HaKadoshim, because the Kodesh HaKadoshim was in the west. So the western wall, I mean, this is like, you don't even need like a Gemara to teach you, this is very clear. Obviously, when the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, which wall would be the wall naturally to retain the Shechina, to be the holiest wall? It would be the western wall of the Beis Hamikdash, which was the wall of the Kodesh HaKadoshim. In order to obviously, fit certain agendas, we don't, a lot of people don't, a lot of rabbis and don't want people going on the Har Bayis. So somehow they've misconstrued these sources that the western wall is the western wall of Herod's extension of the Har Bayis. It's a retaining wall, but that's not true. It's the western wall. If you want to daven at the actual western wall that the Shechina never left, you actually have to go onto the Har Bayis. So now, to take this one step further. So now you have this company, My Kotel, right? So they've now taken already a mistaken wall, the retaining wall. They've made a statue out of it, and they're selling it to people for people to connect to. So what you're doing is you have now an image in your house that you're using to connect to God, and this sculpture is a sculpture of a wall built by a king as an extension of the retaining wall for the platform that holds the Beis Hamikdash. So you see here how things kind of snowball out of control. That like you will literally have people with this sculpture of the Kotel, and they're like putting notes in it. Guys, just come to Eretz Yisrael. Just come to Eretz Yisrael. What is this? I don't understand. It's like we keep replacing everything that's holy with more weird, mundane things, and like now we're at this. So again, I just wanted to talk about this because like when I saw this, like it seems cute. Okay, it's a sculpture of the Kotel, but like you're writing notes and you're putting it in, and this sculpture is not even the Beis Hamikdash. Like at least build a sculpture of the Beis Hamikdash and sell that. Definitely don't put your notes in it, and definitely don't pray to it. But like at least at least have the Beis Hamikdash or something that's actually significant in our religion. So anyway, I just thought that this was pretty crazy. And I think that, again, the core here, again, God bless this company. I mean, if people feel inspired and closer to God by having a sculpture of part of the retaining wall of the Har Bayis, I don't know. Okay, great. I guess great. But like, it's like it's the fact that the thing that bothers me here is that you're replacing the actual mitzvahs, the actual core values of our religion, and you're replacing them. Like the Har Bayis and the Beis Hamikdash was replaced with the Kotel. The Kotel and Eretz Yisrael as a whole is now being replaced, as we just spoke about, in Razy's video and other people, like Eretz Yisrael is being replaced by the whole world, because like you can serve Hashem from anywhere, and then you're serving Hashem from anywhere, but you kind of want to connect to the Har Bayis, so you get a sculpture of the Kotel, and like sometimes you just like you look and you're like, what is it? Like imagine like David HaMelech, would come back to life right now and walk into New York City, and like he'd walk into a house and he would see like this thing, this Kotel in someone's house, and he'd be like, what is this? And be like, oh, I don't want to go to Eretz Yisrael because I really like living in New York, so I'm not going to Eretz Yisrael, but I want to connect to the Beis Hamikdash, so I have a sculpture of a wall that King Herod built, and I'm praying to that, and I'm a really good Jew. Because, what? So again, if you want to serve Hashem correctly, you got to just do what the Torah says. Just do what the Torah says. The Torah says, live in Eretz Yisrael and keep my mitzvos and fulfill the Torah. And if you do that, then you're keeping our original religion. But once you start changing things to fit your agenda, it gets really weird. It's just so weird. Okay, guys, so up next we have a medrash that someone sent me today. And I like this medrash. This medrash is cool. And again, like we said before, which midrashim to take seriously, which midrashim not to take seriously. Whatever. I don't know. You can decide for yourself, but this is a cool medrash, and you don't have to take it literally if you don't want to, but it's it gets a good point across, and it's a cool medrash. So it's Perikei de Rabbi Eliezer, Chaf Tes, okay? Rabbi Eliezer said, basically what he's saying here, you can put it on the screen, okay? By your blood you will live. Okay. El Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying is B'schus dam bris mila v'dam pesach. So meaning in the schus of the blood of the carbon pesach and in the schus of the blood of the bris mila. Okay, in the schus of the blood of these two mitzvahs, I redeemed you from Mitzrayim. U'b'schusam atem asidin legoel b'soif malchus revius. And in the schus of bris mila, and in the schus of the blood of the carbon pesach, I will also redeem you in the fourth malchus. Basically, this means the end of days, like we're at now. Okay, so now this is just a very interesting point because, many people obviously are always saying that we don't, we have to wait for Moshiach. We have to wait for Moshiach in order to be able to go onto the Har Bayis and in order to be able to bring karbanos like the carbon pesach. Right? There's many people. I already have joined a chabura this year, Baruch Hashem, to bring the carbon pesach, and Be'ezrat Hashem, if we are able to go onto the Har Bayis, I'm prepared, and you should too. If you live in Eretz Yisrael, obviously you can't eat carbon pesach if you're not in Yerushalayim, so you got to get over here. But if you want to be able to be part of this, that's great. But what we're saying here is again, so many people say, first Gula comes and then all the mitzvahs come. So this is one of the, I don't know, like hundreds of places that are just a good proof to show that no. First we do, and then the Gula comes. Because again, this medrash says very clearly, in the schus of the carbon pesach, you will be redeemed. Meaning, first we bring a carbon, we go into the Har Bayis, we build a mizbech, we bring the carbon pesach, and in that schus, we will then potentially be redeemed. Now again, I'm not saying if this should be taken literally or not, because you could also say, if I'm just being honest, you could say that, no, in the schus of potentially bringing the carbon pesach, he'll be redeemed. So I'm not saying anything, but I like this medrash. It's cool. I like it. So I figured I'd mention it. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. Okay, so next and lastly, a new thing that maybe I'm going to do sometimes is, people comment on my YouTube videos and people write some dumb things, some smart things. People say thank you. People say free Palestine. That's always fantastic. Apparently, if they write in my YouTube video comments, free Palestine, maybe we're going to free Palestine. Maybe, who knows? I mean, at least they're trying, right? So there's all kinds of interesting comments. And some people comment things that are like actually interesting. Like people pose sometimes pretty good questions or questions that seem good. And the truth is I don't react to most people's comments. So if you're one of those people that likes to comment on the videos, thank you. That's great. I do like the comments. I appreciate the comments. It helps the YouTube algorithm. And I want you to know that I generally read all the comments or most of the comments the best I can. I read the comments. I don't respond to them because it's impossible to respond to hundreds of comments every week. But I do generally read them. And I appreciate them. So what I want to do now is I want to actually maybe read 1, 2, or 3 comments that were posted on my last video. Maybe I'll do this sometimes. And I'll just read the comments that I thought actually were respectful and made sense and were good questions. And I want to just address them. So here is a comment by Fega. Could you please explain why you think that if we, here in Eretz Yisrael, build the third Beis HaMikdash, we will be helping to bring Moshiach? Jews built the second Beis HaMikdash, and Moshiach did not come. So I don't understand the logic here. In Rambam's 13 Principles of Faith, it is written, B'chol yom shiavai. Nowhere is it written, you shall build the third Beis HaMikdash, and I, Hashem, will send my anointed one. Please explain. I like that. That is a good comment. That is a good question. And I'll tell you, it happens to be in 2 videos back, I did an interview with my friend Rav Avi Grossman, who's a Talmid Chacham, and he said actually in the video, he said that he thinks that it's acceptable that if we built the Beis HaMikdash, it's possible it'll be destroyed. And if it does, then that's simply proof that that wasn't the third Beis HaMikdash, but rather simply a rebuilding of the previous second Beis HaMikdash. Because again, we are told by Chazal, clearly, we are told by the prophets, clearly, in the Torah, that the third Geula and the third Beis HaMikdash will be a permanent one, and it will not be destroyed, and there will not be another Chorban. So, that makes you think, if we could build the Beis HaMikdash, it will stand forever. But so Rav Avi brought up a very good point, that if we build a Beis HaMikdash and it does get destroyed, it just simply means it wasn't the final Geula. It was simply a rebuilding of the second Beis HaMikdash. So first of all, to explain that if we build the Beis HaMikdash, it's possible it won't work out. It's possible. That doesn't mean we shouldn't do it, because there is a mitzvah in the Torah, v'asu li mikdash. And again, as we know, Hashem does not expect perfection. It's out of our hands. It's out of our hands what's going to happen with the Beis HaMikdash, but we do have a mitzvah to build it. We have a mitzvah to build the Beis HaMikdash, the same way they built the second Beis HaMikdash. And obviously we know that that was the right thing to do, to build the second Beis HaMikdash. And we do the same thing. We build the Beis HaMikdash. If Hashem wants it to last, if Hashem wants that to be the third Geula, the final Geula, fantastic. If not, who cares? We did the mitzvah. Again, I'm not a Moshiach guy per se. There's some people who love to run everything that they can. Oh, this is proof that Moshiach is coming. That's proof that Moshiach is coming. I don't do these things. I'm a Torah guy. Okay, I'm a Torah guy. I look at the Torah. Torah says Yishav Eretz Yisrael, mitzvah in the Torah. Let's do that. Karban Pesach. Let's do that. Building a Beis HaMikdash, V'asu li mikdash. Let's do that. Learning Torah. Do that. Lulav and Esrog. Do that. Matzah. Just do the mitzvos. Do all the mitzvos. Everyone's so busy handling and trying to figure out, is it the right time? Is it going to work? Did Hashem send us enough signs? There are mitzvahs in the Torah, 613. There's more than 613 mitzvahs. 613 mitzvahs, let's say, right? There are mitzvahs in the Torah. Our job is to do them all. Do every one of them. And do everything you can to do every one of them. There's many, many mitzvahs that can only be performed in Eretz Yisrael, which is what I always say. Come to Eretz Yisrael so you can do all the mitzvahs. To live in Chutz La'aretz, you can't do all the mitzvahs. So do everything you can to put yourself in a position to do all the mitzvahs, and then do all the mitzvahs. Very simple. So building the Beis HaMikdash, it's not a matter of building the Beis HaMikdash and then Mashiach will come. Build the Beis HaMikdash for the sake of building the Beis HaMikdash. We want a Mizbeach so we could bring karbanis. There's so many mitzvahs associated with karbanis. If we can bring karbanis, we can fulfill tons of mitzvahs. If we can build the Beis HaMikdash, we can fulfill tons of mitzvahs. And again, he writes in this comment, or she writes in this comment, could you please explain why you think that if we here in Eretz Yisrael build the third Beis HaMikdash, we will be helping bring the Mashiach. Very good. We will be helping bring the Mashiach. Because obviously we know that Jews need to return to Eretz Yisrael. We need to have a Beis HaMikdash. And these are all things that are associated with the Geula. Whether they happen before the Geula, whether they happen after the Geula, I don't even think those things matter, because that is the Geula. The Geula is us getting the job done. If Hashem wants to give us success in getting the job done, then those things will stand. If Hashem doesn't want, maybe he'll throw us back all out of Eretz Yisrael. I have no idea. Maybe we'll all be exiled again, and we'll have to return again. And you know what? So we'll return again. Maybe we'll build a Beis HaMikdash, and it'll be knocked down, and we'll rebuild it again. Because again, it is not... it's not our job. We can't. It's not in our power to guarantee anything or to have anything perfect. It's not in our power to bring the final geula. It is in our power to do everything we can to help it happen, to show Hashem we want it, to set the situation up. Sitting in America and saying, I say Tehillim for Moshiach, it's good, but it's very far from the best, very far, extremely far at this point in time. So again, so answering Fega at the comments, we appreciate your comment, Fega. That's the whole thing. I'm not saying building the base of Mikdash will bring the Moshiach. It will definitely help bring the Moshiach, and that's our goal. And Moshiach or not, it's a mitzvah in the Torah, so let's get it done. Okay, next comment we have from Daniel Lerman. Michael, I agree with you. However, what you say about returning to Israel by way of Egypt, I'm assuming you say it's fine. This is more of an issue about leaving Israel regardless of traveling through an Arab country or not, no? Okay, basically what he's saying is in this video we were talking about, I was going ahead and saying that it's crazy that people are leaving Eretz Yisrael to go to America through Egypt. So what he's saying, and it's a very good point, he's saying, you're saying it's dangerous, don't do it. But what he's asking is, wouldn't you say, if somebody said, should they come to Eretz Yisrael through Egypt, you'd be okay with that, wouldn't you? It's just a little hypocritical. You're busy yelling that it's dangerous to go through Egypt, but that's only because it fits your agenda to say that leaving Eretz Yisrael through Egypt is bad. But you would have no problem with somebody coming to Eretz Yisrael through Egypt. So to Daniel, what I would say is like this. I would say coming to Eretz Yisrael through Egypt would be acceptable only if there was no other way to get here and if somebody was coming to live here permanently. That's what I would answer. If you were coming to visit Eretz Yisrael and your only way to visit Eretz Yisrael for a week, for a Sukkot or Pesach vacation, is through Egypt, I would say absolutely not. I mean, it's beautiful to visit Eretz Yisrael, but absolutely not. But if you're coming here to settle in the land permanently, then I would say yeah. And well, let's do the one last comment because I think this video is getting a bit long. We're going to do, this is Josh Solomon. I love the sentiment on this. I would strongly disagree with not speaking to a Rav. Being Jewish means following Das Torah, and following Das Torah is more important than Yishuv Eretz Yisrael. There's a very long conversation to be had here, obviously. But I will just say one thing, okay? I'll just want to answer this a little bit. Following Das Torah is more important than Yishuv Eretz Yisrael. So first of all, we already know the Chazal tell us that nobody knows which mitzvah is more important than the next. So to say that one mitzvah is more important than the other, I don't think anyone can answer. But now, again, what does it mean following Das Torah? Is following Das Torah mitzvah? So there are mitzvahs in the Torah about following Sanhedrin, listening to prophets. So we definitely have concepts. And I think that this is important, that a lot of people think that, people say, following Das Torah is the most important thing. What is Das Torah? We do have concepts in the Torah that you have to listen to a Sanhedrin. You have to listen to a proven prophet. These things are absolutely true. The Rav of your local shul is not a Sanhedrin. He's not a prophet. Das Torah is somebody who guides you in the Torah. So now, when we're talking about Das Torah, it's important to understand, if you go to a Rav to ask him if you should live in Eretz Yisrael, the question should not be, should I live in Eretz Yisrael? Living in Eretz Yisrael is a mitzvah in the Torah. This is what people don't seem to understand. Nobody asks a Rav, should I put on tefillin? Should I shake a little bit? Should I eat matzah? Nobody asks these things because everyone knows that these things are mitzvahs. Again, when it comes to the mitzvah of Yishuv Eretz Yisrael, unfortunately, this mitzvah has been disrespected and degraded to the point where people don't consider it a mitzvah, which is extremely disgusting, disrespectful. And so if you ask your Rav, should I live in Eretz Yisrael? That is a bad question to ask. That question makes no sense because that question only has one answer. And if that answer is not an absolute yes, then that's not Das Torah. That's not Bikairos. That's somebody who is leading you astray. The question must be phrased as, I need to live in Eretz Yisrael because it's in the Torah. Is right now the correct time to live in Eretz Yisrael? Or what do I need to do to facilitate me being able to live in Eretz Yisrael in a healthy situation? So that would be a healthy question. The answer of a Rav should and must be a guidance of how you get to Eretz Yisrael. How do you fulfill this mitzvah? So for some people it might be, you have elderly parents. Okay, you have to be here right now, but set up. Can you maybe move them to Eretz Yisrael? If they're going to eventually pass away, right after they pass away, you get there. So if somebody has kids and for some reason their Rav feels that the kids' ages are not the right ages to move to Eretz Yisrael, so he says, okay, look, wait 5 years until this kid is out of school, this and that. So that would be reasonable das Torah. But the only answer to the question of Eretz Yisrael is only, how do I make it work? When is the right time? Anything short of that, the question of should I move to Eretz Yisrael, and the answer being a no, not right now, without any future plan, without any work towards getting to Eretz Yisrael, that is not das Torah. That is simply not das Torah. If you go to a Rav and you ask him, should I live in Eretz Yisrael? And he says, I don't think it's right for you right now, and leaves it off at that, that is not an answer. The concept of a healthy answer of when is the soonest time, or how can I facilitate getting to Eretz Yisrael as fast as possible, even if it's not today, that would be healthy. Now, I might disagree with some of these things, but that would be healthy. But the concept of we don't live in Eretz Yisrael because Das Torah says not, which is something I hear from a lot of people, that is wrong, that is crazy, that is kfira, that is against the Torah. And anyone who's Rav simply tells them they should not live in Eretz Yisrael and ends it there, that's not Das Torah. That is, I don't know what that is. That's just a person giving his advice and has nothing to do with the Torah and is leading people astray. Every person must do everything that they can and strive with all of their heart and all of their soul to get to Eretz Yisrael. And only you and God know what the real reason is that you're not in Eretz Yisrael. If you're not in Eretz Yisrael and you have a very good reason and a very valid reason and you truly yearn to be in Eretz Yisrael, then God knows. But if you're not in Eretz Yisrael because you really want to finish remodeling your kitchen or your bathroom, or you just bought a fancy new house in Tom's River, I can't even think about Eretz Yisrael because there's so many more important things to do. God knows. God knows what you're thinking. And if you go to your Rav to ask him, when can I move to Eretz Yisrael? How can I move to Eretz Yisrael? How can I make it work? That's good. If you go to your Rav and you do everything you can to make sure your Rav tells you that you should not move to Eretz Yisrael, or if your Rav is a person who tells everybody that comes to him not to go to Eretz Yisrael, that is not Das Torah, and that is not a person who's searching for Das Torah. All right, guys, I have no idea how long this video just went for. I've got more things to cover, but I just kind of feel like I'm looking at my clock. It's been a while. So anyway, if you're cleaning for Pesach, if you're cooking, I hope you're enjoying yourself. And guys, have a Chag Sameach. Maybe we'll make some videos over Pesach. I have no idea. But for now, Chag Sameach. Enjoy your Pesach. If you're in Eretz Yisrael, Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll be able to eat the Karban Pesach this year. We'll be able to see the redemption. If you're not in Eretz Yisrael, then hopefully you'll be able to watch us see the redemption this year, and then you'll get here as soon as it's convenient for you, Be'ezrat Hashem. Either way, don't forget the main thing. Learn Torah, serve Hashem. Do all the mitzvahs in the Torah. Every mitzvah in the Torah. It's not about Moshiach. It's not about some magical fantasy. It's about serving Hashem, doing the mitzvahs in the Torah. There's 613 mitzvahs in the Torah, and every Jew's job is to strive to do every single one of them that he possibly can. That is all, my friends. Chazak ve'ematz. Oh, wait. Whoa, back up. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like the video, subscribe. Share these videos with your friends. That's the most important thing. Share the videos with your friends and family. We want to get these videos in front of as many people as possible. We want to spread the truth. And again, if you guys like these videos, if you are being inspired, if you're being motivated, then please, homeboundisrael.com, go to the website, partner with us, donate, help us keep going, help us get bigger, get in front of more people, and God bless you. Chazak ve'ematz, be strong and courageous, do the will of God, keep the Torah, keep the mitzvos. We will see you guys next time.